Hey guys, it's Windwolf and welcome back to another speed build for today. Today we are building yet again another modern house in Oasis Springs. I'm kind of renovating this little district in Oasis Springs. I don't remember the name of the district, but it's the one where Johnny Zest lives. Basically, there's a bunch of modern houses in this neighborhood, so I've kind of renovated it to be modern, which I know doesn't really fit the description of the district, but I think it looks fine. I also wish we could edit the district descriptions. I think that would be really cool if we could edit the district descriptions to fit whatever sort of buildings we're making in that district, because right now the district does not sound modern. So maybe it was recently renovated, they haven't updated the district description yet. I don't know. So this was based off of a reference picture, and they had done something very weird with the roofing that I tried mimicking for like 2 seconds, and then I was like, never mind, we're just gonna use platforms. So I basically just use platforms for the whole entire roofing. This house is pretty small in comparison to my usual builds. There's 2 bedrooms and then kitchen, dining, and living. There's no extra spaces, no studies, no art studios, nothing like that. So it's really just kind of a basic house. It is kind of expensive for what it is. I can't remember the exact cost. And also, guys, if it bothers you that the platforms are a different color than the wall, I tried so hard to make them exact, but I don't know if it's the lighting or if it's just the shade of white, but I could not find a wallpaper that matched the white, any of the white foundations at all. And I even darkened it and made them gray. It just didn't even work. They're so bright in comparison. You'll see that I kind of get a better one later on, but it still doesn't match. And I didn't want to use half walls because half walls have a trim, and that kind of ruined the aesthetic to have, a trim on top of the build. So I just suffered the change. But if you guys don't like the fact that the whites are slightly different, you guys can add half walls around and then just color them in and add a half wall trim and you'll be good to go. Yeah. So I did branch out a lot with this build, guys. First of all, you guys know desert homes aren't my thing. So just doing desert homes is a big thing, but it's also smaller, like I said, and I tried to branch out with the color scheme. So you'll see that I use 2 different accent colors in the living room: green, which I never use, and a black, kind of like a grayish blue black maybe. And then in the parents' bedroom, it's orange, like a orangey brown and yellow and green. And the kids' bedroom is also green, I think. And the bathroom even has green accents as well. I think I forgot to include screenshots of the bathroom, but I don't know if the bathroom is special enough that it really matters that I forgot that. So, yeah. So I did branch out a lot with this build. I also did something really interesting with the living room, which you'll see in a minute, which is that I put it angular. So usually I just pick a wall and put the TV on that wall, and then you kind of have the couch on the opposite side. But this time I put the TV in a corner, so everything's angled diagonally. It wasn't really necessary to be done like that, but I felt like the house looked kind of almost too boring just having a regular formatted living room, so that's why it's in the corner. Yeah. So this left side over here is going to be, this also there's split living. The living room is sunken in comparison to the kitchen. You'll see that some of the doors appear to be floating. Usually when I do sunken living rooms, I just sink everything down so that there's no floating doors, but for some reason the floating doors stayed even if the bedrooms are the same platform height as the living room. So I don't know what was up with that, so I was like, never mind, then I won't even bother sinking all the rooms if it's just gonna look that weird anyways, because I didn't like having the platform trim in the bedrooms. So yeah. I mean, I really tried to make this big. Originally I was going to have 2 bathrooms, and figuring out the layout was a little bit weird. I did manage to put a pool in this build. I always put pools in the builds. You guys know I like making pools, especially if you're in Oasis Springs. It's really fitting to have a pool. I also put this really, really cute play area for the kid outside, which you'll see at the end, and it looks pretty dang cute if you ask me. And then once again, I'm trying to do my landscaping first and then go ahead and finish the build, because usually I avoid landscaping and I do it last, and I feel like people really like watching landscaping. And I feel like if you're going to do the exterior of a house, it makes more sense to do the landscaping first instead of last. So this time I've tried doing landscaping first and then going ahead and finishing the build. Obviously you saw me do the like floor plan, but I did the floor plan just to make sure that the house shape actually worked before I start editing the backyard, because obviously I can extend the house if necessary and kind of adjust things, but I wouldn't be able to, it'd be really tedious to do that after I've already put landscaping and everything down. So yeah, this build is limited pack. I don't remember if I told you guys this yet. So it uses Strangerville, Snowy Escape, Ecolifestyle. I'm trying to think if there's anything else, but I think that might be it. Strangerville, Ecolifestyle, and Snowy Escape. The reason it uses Ecolifestyle is obviously the wallpaper. Snowy Escape is the windows, and even I think also I think Ecolifestyle was also used for the windows. So yeah, every single build I make has those 2 packs. So if you guys had any hope of downloading a modern build from me, you need to have those packs, because they just have the best like, what do you call it? The best windows for modern houses. I mean, first of all, they're cheap. Like, the base game has the exact same windows as Ecolifestyle, but the Ecolifestyle windows are $30 and the base game windows are like $200 or something. So it's just cheaper to use Ecolifestyle windows. And then further, Snowy Escape has really nice square windows and like same type of like rectangular windows, but they're a little bit shorter. So they just give more options and more variety, which I really like. So that's why I use Snowy Escape a lot. Not to mention I like they just have a lot of good build items, to be honest. Actually, they have really good items for making a farmhouse. Love their items for making a farmhouse. Obviously, this is not a farmhouse, but yeah. Here you have a shower that I've put a door in front of. I don't know if it's functional, to be entirely honest, because I think the last time I tried doing something like this, it wasn't functional. So if it's not functional for you guys, you might want to delete the wall and just have the shower there. The reason I put a door is because I didn't like the idea of just having an open shower. Like, it feels unfinished. So yeah. And then here I've added a gnome because this specific district in Oasis Spring, they mentioned gnomes and how the neighborhood really likes gnomes. So I was like, okay, well, I guess I'll add a gnome on the interior at least if I'm not going to add it on the exterior. I probably should have added them on the exterior, but I didn't think of it at the time. Finding the right artwork for this build was really difficult. I had a really hard time deciding what artwork I wanted to go for, because on one hand this house is modern, on the other hand it's in Oasis Springs, and I feel like it should have some more like not traditional, but like Strangerville pieces. Like, you'll see I had a picture of the car. I felt like that would have fit really well in this, but at the same time I was like, does it really if it's modern? I don't know. So that was a struggle. Also, guys, you'll see that I end up putting my kids' play area, and there's like access to the cacti from the kids' play area. Obviously, you wouldn't want to have your kids near cacti, but in The Sims, it doesn't really matter. So, yeah. And I also use the Toddler stuff pack. So you need Toddler stuff pack for, I mean, you don't need it, but this entire like backyard area will probably be empty without it, because a lot of those toys are from the Toddler stuff pack. And then I ended up adding a different form of sand because I didn't like the sand in Oasis Springs that much, so I thought this would look more like a play sand area, you know, like a sandbox, if it had different colored sand than the natural sand in Oasis Springs. And then I just add a bunch of clutter. I did not playtest this build at all, but hopefully everything is functional. And the reason I've added books and pillows is because in Oasis Springs it's a desert, so I feel like it wouldn't rain that much. So that's why I felt like realistically it'd be okay. And then I also sized up a toy car because you know how kids have like those really big cars that they can actually drive? That's kind of what I was going for. Obviously you can't drive the toy car, but it looks like you can, and that's kind of cool. So yeah, I got that idea when I did it. I think the first time I ever came up with the idea was for my Christmas 2020 toy store village, or it was like my Christmas village and it had a toy store in it, which I think you guys can find on my page. Like, I have a playlist for it if you want to check out my old Christmas builds. But yeah, so here's what I'm saying when I angled the TV instead of placing it in the middle. Usually I would just place it against the wall straightly, like on probably along the green wall, and then just have the couch on the opposing side like this. which I think kind of uses the space a little bit more effectively, but I wanted to do something different, so I angled it instead. I think it still looks nice. The reason I didn't put it along the other wall was because of the windows and stuff. I do think it makes the living room seem a little bit smaller, just because it, you know, it's smaller, but I just felt like it looked kind of boring doing it the other way. But of course you guys can flip it around if you don't like this. I was just trying something new. But finding the right like coffee table for this was really difficult because the shape was really weird, and the spacing was really weird, and I still wanted it to be functional, and I ended up just using those modern. I have a lot of time with finding coffee tables for modern builds, especially builds that are like modern but at the same time not completely modern, like not overtly modern, that it's only modern, if that makes sense at all. And then here doing the kitchen, I really like this like stone. I rarely ever use it. It's a base game stone, but it works really well in this like deserty house. So I'm pretty happy with that. Yeah. I also like that I've mixed wood tones. I think I mix wood tones in all of my builds. I don't think you guys have ever seen me stick completely to a specific wood tone. But this time I just liked the idea of having this like darker wood and then also having this like orangey wood. So that was fun. And then here you see I'm getting into like the browny, like orangey brown color scheme. This is very different from what I would usually do. First of all, I hate this color scheme, but I think it looks really nice for some reason. Like for some reason I really liked it in this specific like house, in this room, which I don't think you'll ever see me like do again, but it was fun to try, and I think it looks nice even if it's not necessarily like my style. But yeah, and then the kids' room, I kind of wanted to go for like a jungle theme. Obviously, you can't really go for a jungle theme in the game because there's not that many items to make it jungly, but yeah, I just added like the panda and some toys and kind of stuck with this like green color scheme. I know that the ladybugs don't emanate jungle, but it was the one carpet that I felt matched the color scheme the most. So that's why I stuck with it. And then I just have a panda because I feel like pandas are really cute and childish. And then I also added a bunch of these like kids paintings. I feel like I don't use these kids paintings enough, so this time I use them a lot. You might see in the screenshots that some of the items have changed, and that's because my game has been so glitchy, guys. Let me know if you guys are having this issue. I'll like have move objects on, but then items still like won't place and they'll disappear if I log back into the build, even with move objects on. And then if I try placing items, they're like intersecting object can't go there. And it's like I have move objects on and then it just disappears when you place it. I don't understand. Like, why is it doing this to me? It's so annoying. And I even like reset move objects. I like log into the build, log out of the build. I bulldoze a lot. I try new lot. I go into a different save. Like it just stays there. And I don't know what's up with that at all, but it's super annoying and it frustrated me to no end. This first happened with my country house that I made with the new kitchen kit, which if you guys haven't seen, I'll link it down below and I'll have a card floating up above because that build is super cute. I'm very proud of that build. But it was so annoying because the screenshots don't match the tour because my tour was before the glitch started and then the screenshots happened after the glitch. So I have a bunch of like random spacings where items used to be that are just now gone for whatever reason. Super annoying. So annoying. Here you see that I've added a little nook because obviously a computer is kind of a necessity in a build. So but the parent has a little desk nook. I think I probably should have added a desk nook that was accessible to the kid, but given the fact that the kid is a toddler, it didn't feel necessary as of yet. If you guys download this build, that will be your problem for whenever you age up your toddler, or if you just don't have a toddler, you might have to do some renovating. But yeah, so this have the desk nook. I ended up using a dining table as the desk just because I liked the dining table better than the desk version. But anyways, we've reached screenshots. I hope you guys like this build. As always, if you do, please give it a big thumbs up. If you like me, hit the subscribe button. And if you really like me and be notified every single time I post a video, go ahead and hit that bell button. You guys are having a great day, and I will see you next time.